Hey everybody, Mark here again. Today I'm going to be reviewing a game. This game was a terrible game, played by both sides. One side much worse than the other side. Um, Terrible, absolutely terrible. And the reason why I'm saying it was terrible was because it was the very first game I ever played on the internet. A quick background of my chess history. I learnt the game from my grandfather when I was very young. I learnt the rules. In high school, I played in some tournaments with only my knowledge of the rules of the game, no strategy or anything. And I came second in most of them, behind the one really good chess player at my school, who, in hindsight, probably wasn't very good, considering I came second and all I knew was the rules. So, that was my background, and this game was played in my first year of university in 2010. I played on the internet on the free internet chess server because I knew the rules and I thought to myself, I just want to play a game of chess. Don't know why, I just decided I wanted to. So here we are. My opponent in this game was rated 832, which after the game you'll see just shows how badly I played compared to that. And my rating wasn't set yet because I'd only played 1 or 2 games. So this game I think was a 5-minute blitz game, perhaps a 3-minute blitz game, which I mean is half of the reason why all the moves were terrible, but the other half is because I was just terrible. So without further ado, let's get into this madness. D4 was played by me, a good starting move. My opponent replied with D5 and I played the Queen's Gambit. I probably knew that this was called the Queen's Gambit, but I probably didn't know how to play it. And after seeing this game, I definitely didn't know how to play it. My opponent played the Queen's Gambit accepted, and I played knight f3, b5, and instead of opening up my bishop to prepare a4 or even just playing a4, I played knight c3 to attack the pawn, and he defended it. Strong chess. I played g3. I wanted to get my bishop on this h1 a8 diagonal. Look at it, it's a beautiful diagonal. Obviously, I didn't really understand how I'm supposed to break down this pawn structure, so I thought, no, my bishop's terrible on this diagonal, I'll get on this one. E6, I guess he's planning to develop his dark squared bishop later, perhaps to b4. Bishop g2, and c5. Whether that is a trap, I guess, for me to play d takes c and he takes my queen and stops me castling, I don't know, but I didn't find out because I just played e3. This protects my center, and I keep a pawn on d4, which is okay, I guess. Bishop b7, he's challenging my bishop. Now, I've got to be careful. If I play knight to e5 here, or something along those lines, which I wouldn't put it past myself to play, he can just take my bishop for free and gain a tempo on my rook. So I castled to stop all that. Great play. My opponent played knight to d7, and here came... I mean, the rest of the moves I've played haven't really been great because they haven't really followed a strategy apart from develop. But I guess at this level that's okay. But this move really was a howler. It was shocking, to say the least. It's probably the worst move you could find on the board after Queen a4 and Queen b3. So the move I played simply hangs a piece with no compensation whatsoever. Knight e4. Don't know why I played this, but guys, if you're learning chess and you're starting out, wherever you move a piece, make sure that it can't be taken for free. It seems simple, but I think back in the day, I had a lot of trouble realizing when pieces like this bishop on b7 is relatively deceptive for a new player who's mainly only focusing on their pieces. But do me a favor, guys, and when you play, just make sure your pieces can't be taken like this. And my opponent saw it, believe it or not. Bishop takes e4. And now I played another bad move, but I think I tried to play a trick on my opponent. With this move, he gains another piece. But if he plays it badly, I get a good tempo. I don't necessarily make material, but I get a good tempo on his rook. So I played knight g5. Obviously this hangs it to the queen, but I figured if he plays queen takes knight, then I play bishop takes bishop and I'm on his rook, and he might miss that. So these were the these were the kinds of ideas I had when I was beginning out in chess, and these are not good strategies, okay? These one move threats, this is not really even a threat, because even in that variation, after queen takes knight, bishop takes bishop, he can just move his rook, and I'm just trading down material, which you don't want to do when you're already behind. So he played bishop takes bishop, which is the best move, followed by... No, not queen takes knight. I don't know why he played this. I don't know why. It's not even the best knight move. Okay, he played knight to f6. Not sure why. If he's going to play a knight move, guys, at least develop your g knight to f6. So that, like, both the knights are developed and then one more move and you can castle, okay? With this move, he's moved his knight twice. From b8 to d7 to f6. And it's just a waste of time. It really achieves nothing. He should have taken my knight, and he would have been up another minor piece. It's just simple stuff like that that beginners tend to miss and not understand that makes them beginners, I guess. So just keep an eye out for that, guys. Played rook e1, which achieves nothing. Don't know why I played that, so I'm going to carry on. C takes d4, e takes d4, bishop e7, developing another piece. Now, if you'll remember, if this knight was on f6 and this knight was on d7, then he could just castle next move, but he can't. He's got to develop another piece. So that's good for me. I've got a small development lead. So I played queen f3. Now, this is a little trick again. I played for tricks a lot. If queen takes d4, a free pawn, then I get his rook with check. So that would be pretty swell. Okay, I'll just put that on the board so you can visualize it. This was my plan. Okay, and now I'm winning. But instead, my opponent saw this, and he played rook c8. Okay, the best move was probably after here, queen to d5, forcing the trade of queens, or at least forcing me to trade down in material to avoid the trade of queens. But then he gets the trade of queens no matter what anyway. Okay, so that just is a small variation to show how easily it is for him to trade down if he plays the correct move, queen d5. But, I mean, his move, rook c8, is saving his rook, and it's okay. I played b3, which I have no idea what the point of was. I guess maybe to play my bishop to b2 to defend this pawn. I could have just played bishop e3, but, okay, each their own. Queen takes d4, winning a free pawn and attacking my rook. Now I made another one-move threat, queen b7, attacking his rook. He saw it and played queen d5 check, forcing the trade of queens, which is a good idea for him now that he's up material. So I took it. Thankfully, I didn't play something like queen g1 in time pressure, which would have been bad because he would have got my queen for free. See, I made some good moves, guys. Come on. I made some good moves. He took with the knight, opening up my knight to be taken by his bishop to trade even more material off, which is a good idea when you're ahead in material. I didn't worry about it. I played b takes c4, attacking his knight, and he defended his knight, I guess, in a way. And also threatened knight to c2, forking my rooks, which I saw. I mean, I didn't see moves like knight e4 where he can take a minor piece for free, but I managed to see complex forks like this. Okay, so rook e2, I wasn't that terrible. Bishop takes g5, bishop takes g5, rook takes c4, excuse me, and now my opponent is up 2 pawns and a minor piece. So at this point, I had very few chances to win, even against a player who's liable to make a lot of blunders. So I made another one-move threat, which I'll admit, rook d2, threatening checkmate on d8. If I got another move, that would be checkmate. Now, my opponent saw this, and when I was reviewing this game just a moment ago, I was blown away that he actually saw this. I made this mate threat, which is typically a tough one for beginners to see. The rook on d8 supported by the bishop mating the king is one of the tougher mates to understand from a beginner. Same with like smothered mate or even some back rank mates are tough for beginners to understand and see before they happen. But my opponent saw this or played the move without seeing it and just got lucky. But I'd like to think that he saw it and he played f6, a decent move. I played bishop e3 and he played knight e7, and then I played the final move of the game, and that unfortunately isn't because I ended the game with this move. It's because this move lost me the game. I played another sacrificial move, except this move didn't gain anything at all. Bishop c5. He, of course, can just take it with his rook, and he's up 2 minor pieces and 2 pawns, and the game would be over, and I went ahead and resigned in this position. Now I'm thinking that hopefully I made this move in time pressure, and then just decided to resign when I saw that he could take it. But perhaps I didn't, so I'm not 100% sure because I don't have the times on this PGN file. Anyway, that was the first game I ever played on the internet. It's the first game I ever played really against a player who knew how to play chess, apart from those few in high school. As you might have seen from my other videos, I'm significantly better now, and still looking to improve a lot, because I figure if I ever get to master level or even expert level, 2000 plus rating, I'm going to look back on the games I'm playing now and uploading to YouTube now, and I'm going to look back and say, whoa, what am I doing? How could I make that move? Blah, 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 in the same vein as I am making these statements about bishop c5 and knight e4 now, which is just sacrificing a piece. So this is going to be a good learning tool for me as well, to watch my development as a chess player, and I hope if you're a beginner or even an intermediate player, you can really gain something from watching this game, and just learn something about the chess mind of a beginner, and how they go about playing their games. Hope you enjoyed it at the very least. Hopefully it was entertaining. See you next time.